You charge me, it's going to be on the public. There's no.
I'm not charging you. I just said I'm waiting out the polygraph.
This is Stephen Chaisson, a former police sergeant who is accused of public indecency. The incident dates back to 2013, when a woman reported witnessing a man engaged in inappropriate behavior in his truck near an ATM in Newburyport.
Because a woman came in here and said that was the truck who she saw somebody masturbating in.
The woman stated that the man noticed her looking at him, continued his actions, and then drove away. She provided a partial license plate number and later saw the same truck parked at the police department when she went to file a complaint.
And, if somebody was doing that with a truck similar to mine, with a plate similar to mine, I talked to Greg Whitney and he suggested I change my plate, so I did.
The man involved was identified as Stephen Chaisson, then Newburyport police sergeant. Although the police department had considered pressing charges, Stephen was allowed to resign from his position.
I've held off and tried every way possible because even if you would, there's no way to get out of it once you're charged.
It was later revealed through obtained records that Stephen initially lied to investigators, but confessed after being granted immunity from prosecution. The city resisted the release of these records for several months, complying only after being ordered to do so by the Massachusetts Secretary of State's office. Let's take a look at the interrogation.
It's off.
What's that?
I turned the ringer off.
Well, Steve, the reason you're in here, obviously, number one, is we're going to record the interview.
Yeah.
Right? I think that you know why you're here.
Yep.
There's been some allegations made. There's been some discussion made about some activity on Water Street.
Yeah.
Because it's the potential that it's possibly criminal and it's possibly also something that's going to be involved in the department itself later on. And you get the rights. I got to advise you your rights.
Yeah.
Right? I think you will.
I know my rights.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to keep it clean. So
No, I understand.
So, you want to read them, understand them?
According to protocol, Stephen was informed of his Miranda rights, even though he was already familiar with them as a police officer.
Understand the whole thing. So you know the incident we're talking about. We're talking about the Water Street incident. Okay. Have you ever gone on the IMC computer and pulled up that incident itself?
I have.
How many times have you done that?
I think 2 or 3 times,
Why?
just to check on it and see if there's any more updates or whatnot.
Okay. When was the last time you looked at it?
I think I looked at it this morning.
Okay. With the intent of just keeping track of what's going on with it?
Right.
Okay. Has there been any changes in it?
Not that I noted, no.
Okay. How often do you get your hair cut?
Monthly.
Where do you go?
I go to Salisbury Square, but the last time I went to the place next to Panera, it was on a Wednesday.
And how long ago was that to get your last one done?
Wednesday, probably 2 to 3 weeks ago,
Do you chew tobacco?
on occasion.
Occasion being,
Some points regularly, some points, I quit for a month or two, a week here, a week there. Yeah, I do.
is it stress driven? Is it just habit driven?
Habit, nicotine, I guess.
Okay. On the 17th, which is the date that we've all been talking about,
Yeah,
were you at the police station that morning?
I was. I think I left here around I came here at 10. Me and Chucky had a meeting with Tony King and Steve Sforza in the morning. I came here after that around 10 o'clock. Probably left here around a little bit before 11.
And you remember what you were wearing that day?
I was wearing white cargo pants and a red shirt.
The detective began by inquiring about the events of the day in question, including whether Stephen utilized his authority as a police officer to investigate the matter.
And you've changed the registration of your truck.
I have.
Why did you do that?
Because a woman came in here and said that was the truck who she saw somebody masturbating in. And, if somebody was doing that with a truck similar to mine, with a plate similar to mine, I talked to Greg Whitney and he suggested I change my plate, so I did.
Do you think it's kind of like a drastic move?
Not really, it's free, it didn't cost me any money. It was just, she keeps on seeing that plate here and keeps on thinking it's me. I was just trying to, like I said, I didn't run out and change the plate. I know how it looks to some people, but, when she came into the station, my place of work, I figured try to, just, stop her from seeing that truck here. I didn't want attention drawn to me.
The detective found a particularly suspicious aspect in Stephen's case. He took deliberate actions to change his license plate number, which raised suspicions and led the detective to believe that he may be guilty.
There's nothing I can think of. I wasn't there that day. I wasn't on Federal. I wasn't in the tannery. I wasn't there. I'll volunteer to give you my cell phone records. And if they can show the tower where they're from, it'll show the timestamps on where I was when I received it. I was texting you that day around the time of this. The earlier calls, I was here. I talked to Chris McDonald. I talked to an Ipswich police officer about a dive training. And then I'm back home when I'm on the phone there. I'm not sure what time you text me. I think it was around 11. And, I still have them in my phone if you want to see them right now.
Yeah, whatever you got that's...
In an attempt to appear innocent, Stephen provided a false alibi and attempted to corroborate it using his phone records. Furthermore, he tried to manipulate the detective by feigning confidence and requesting access to his phone's GPS records for the specific time in question.
I'm there all the time, so, I can't.
How often do you walk the rail trail with your wife?
I've probably done it this fall, probably 3 or 4 times.
How would September 17th stick out in your mind that you guys walked the rail trail from any other day?
Because I told her I'm here, like somebody just accused me of, jerking off in front of, the way Gregory explained it first, somebody was standing in front of the ATM. And then, so she'll remember that day.
Stephen's deceptive abilities are evident as he skillfully constructs a false narrative to establish an alibi. In fact, his adeptness at deceit suggests prior experience in lying as he weaves a fabricated tale. But no matter how skillful, a liar always gets caught when faced with a fully trained detective.
At the station, you left here shortly thereafter to go to the boat. Went home.
Yeah, a few minutes at the boat. Went home.
2:55.
Got the 2 texts from the lieutenant.
Okay. So you're saying by 11 o'clock you're at the house, and the only time you leave is to go for a walk with your wife.
Right. And I don't know if I left in the afternoon for anything, but, the walk took up. I don't know if I was working midnight that night or not. I don't know if I went to bed or whatever, but I definitely didn't go back to Newburyport, in that area, especially after Greg told me, description of the vehicle and everything.
Here's the problem I'm having. I've got a lady that describes a guy that fits your description. The haircut.
Somewhat. I don't think the haircut does. I've never had curly hair, so. But.
Well, dark hair, wavy hair, wearing cargo pants, driving an orange burnt truck with the 3 initials to your plates.
Right.
That appears to be chewing tobacco. All right, it's got a lump right in the front of his chin, which you admittedly do.
With Dyson hairs, but I don't put it in the front of my chin. I put it on the side of my mouth. But
Okay.
I'm splitting hairs. But
So I'm just looking for some way, given the circumstantial evidence that we have here, the next step.
Can she do a lineup? Can she do a?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure she can pick you out of a lineup.
Well, I'm hoping she wouldn't pick me out of a lineup. Can she see me and say, no, that's not him, or I don't see the person here?
She's not confident. So now we're back to all the circumstantial stuff. I've got a burnt colored truck parked in front of the bank. I've got your plate number, the last 3 numbers of a plate that's yours.
Yeah.
I've got you changing your plates.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just telling you what the facts are.
All right.
You've never come down to speak to me not once about this, never to say anything other than, like I was never there, anything.
I thought it went away. I thought this was,
Well,
this is 6 weeks later, and,
if you thought it went away, why do you keep looking at the report?
just to see if anything's changed.
Why would you do that?
The detective's astute questioning has exposed the gaps and contradictions in Stephen's story, leaving little doubt that his deception will soon crumble, compelling him to confess.
Let's do this. We're going to set up something to be your wife.
All right.
We're going to set up a polygraph and get it as soon as I can get it.
All right.
We're going to pray she don't leave.
Oh, please don't.
You're going on. I have no choice.
Please
I
don't.
have no
I'm
choice.
living paycheck to paycheck right now.
I have no. It's with pay.
Yeah, but still, I can't work details.
I know.
I'm on a detail right now. This will kill me. Is this going to go public?
Right now, you're on administrative leave until we finish this.
I'm begging you. Please don't do this to me.
Steve, I've talked to
Go through the
everybody.
investigation. I'm not gonna interfere with the investigation. I've been here for 6 weeks.
I understand that. Well, some of this information has just come to us very recently, like since Friday. I've talked to the chief's attorney, I've talked to the district attorney's office, I've talked to the city's attorney. I don't have a choice in this, that I gotta put you out because of everything that we see at this point is
How quickly?
compelling. I'm gonna make the phone calls as soon as I get done here, as soon as I get one, I'll have it done.
Can I take vacation time just so it doesn't look like I'm out there being,
Do you see where I'm coming from? I mean,
I see where you're coming from. I honestly do.
I did not want to come in here Monday morning and be dealing with this situation. I don't want to be looking at one of my officers as being a suspect in anything. But in fairness to you, in fairness to the organization, there's certain things that have to happen, and this is going to be one of them.
Following allegations of a sex crime, Stephen was placed on paid leave. However, after failing the polygraph test, he eventually admitted to the allegations, but only when he received immunity from prosecution. Although Stephen was never formally charged with a crime, he quietly resigned from his position within the department. According to the records, Stephen admitted that his pants were open and he was engaged in inappropriate behavior, but he denied that it amounted to masturbation. If you want to watch more of these shocking stories and interrogations, please subscribe to the channel.